everyone, it's me. I'm here with an overview of next month's Great Artist lesson. Our first through second graders will be continuing our Elements of Design series, and they will be learning about line. And you're saying to yourself, a whole lesson and project on line. Seriously? Trust me, it will probably be one of their most favorite projects. And as far as the lesson is concerned, line is one of the most important things in art because it's what you start with. It's where you lay down your pencil. It's so expressive. And so in this lesson, we talk about and explain to them how expressive lines can be. They can be thin, and they can be thin, curvy, straight, jagged, and that expresses so many emotions just in a simple line. So we start off by talking to them about that concept and that idea, and then we go on to show them by kind of going over some of the lines, and we ask them, how is it that lines are expressive? And that's how we start off this discussion and then show them what we mean. All right, now begins the exploration. We're going to go over 5 main types of lines, and in order to explain and demonstrate how it is that there's feelings in these lines, we want to kind of give them a visualization and have a little bit of a discussion about each one of them. And in this picture right here, these of course are vertical lines. Now when they're grouped together, it creates a pattern, right? Versus if it were just one single solitary line, it would just be a line. But when you group things together, it creates movement, it creates pattern. Now with each one of the slides where we show the different types of lines that there are, we are going to ask them what feeling best describes this particular line. So for instance, with vertical lines, we have a discussion and point out some things that you'll see in the leader's guide. So for vertical lines, it makes your eye, it leads your eye up and in different directions. It's strength and stability, and it makes things appear taller. But before we tell them what the answer is, we ask them first what that feeling is, what it is that they see when they look at this. What does this particular line make them see or make them feel? The next basic line that we talk about is the horizontal line. Again, asking that question. What is it that this line makes you feel, or what feeling best describes this line, the horizontal line? And they will probably say things like balance or peace, restfulness, whatever those answers are. But there's a definite feeling when you look at a horizontal line. And here we have the diagonal line. What feeling best describes the diagonal line? Well, it's tension and instability. Oh, it's gonna fall! It expresses that kind of movement. It is about a movement, zigzagging back and forth and doing things. This is constant movement that you see here. And here we have the zigzag line. And I kind of like the description here. Line is made by connecting diagonal lines. Use them to express action, energy, sound, or just plain confusion. Because this one hurts my eyes. And there's a little hidden thing in here. Not everybody can see it, but if they're in the right position or if they don't look right at it, hidden in these diagonal lines, they might be able to see a cute little panda bear. This is the last of the 5 lines, the curved line. And again, we lead in with that question and then fill in the blanks with graceful and movement, rhythm, the fact that people look at curved lines as spirals and clouds, soft rounded objects. We continue on our discussion a little bit about lines and kind of mention some of the other ones, such as broken lines, gesture lines, and contour lines. Again, just kind of pulling from what they know or what they understand or what their perception is of these lines as we describe them. And we go on to discuss the fact that all these lines can be found in the natural world. They range from teeny tiny to seamlessly endless. They're everywhere. They're in a blade of grass. They're in the horizons that we see. And artists look to these natural lines all around them and use them in their art. This plays into the art project, making sure that they can visualize that lines are very important in creating shape and movement. So we have a quick little 2-minute discussion about the prints that were provided, and we ask the children to tell us how the lines within the art express different feelings, ideas, and movement. So now we're taking them from talking and discussing what the different lines feel like or what emotions they emote with a line, and then having them look at a full piece of art and decipher how those lines are telling the story within the art. All right, before we have the kiddos do their very special project, we have them practice drawing lines. Now you're like, it's a line, how hard can it be? But remember, some of these kids, might be their first time doing art, especially our first graders. So we take some time, we invest some time to make sure that they understand how to draw different lines. Now there's two ways that this can be done. There's going to be a worksheet that we're going to pass out to all the kids so that they can go ahead and practice doing it. Now, some classrooms, the smartboard works. I love using the smartboard where I can. So the slide will display up. You can pick up one of the markers and then you can draw on the smartboard with it and the kids can draw along with you. Now, if the smartboard isn't working, then of course you can move on and use the overhead projector with markers and show them with the overhead projector. Either way, it's the opportunity for them to practice these lines and for you to show them how to practice these lines. So there's this slide and there is the next slide. But we just, again, if this doesn't work on the smartboard, use the overhead projector or walk around and show them. There is a cheat sheet for you so that you can see exactly how the lines are supposed to look. And it's all about them practicing and having fun with it to prepare them for their very special project. All right, it's project time. But before you pass anything out, you're going to want to go over the instructions first and use the slide to do that. We're going to tell them, very important, to put their name on the back of the paper that we pass around. And that they're going to be working on drawing hair. They're going to be doing hair. And they're going to create crazy hair by using expressive lines. They're going to create moving hair by using movable lines. And this is where they put into practice the worksheet that they did. So they practice all those lines and now they can put them together to create crazy, wacky, moving hair, colorful hair. And we tell them, first off, you pick a couple of lines and you start by drawing. If you look in the, let's see if I can do this. I think I could do this. If you look on this example here, right here, and if you look over here, we have them do a V formation and then they build off of that V formation. And if they create more than one line side by side, 5 of them together, as it says here, draw them in a V formation on the top of the head and groups of 5 to create a decorative pattern, and then they can build off of that. Now, you're going to have some kids who are really advanced and they want to do something different. By all means, let them. But as long as they're doing lines and creating movement and making this very vibrant, movable, cool hair, why not? So we're going to pass out the sheet for them, and you're going to pass it face down. I'm going to grab mine here. You're going to pass it face down, and you're going to tell them, do not turn it over until I count it down, 1, 2, 3. So you pass these out. No one gets to see it, and then you count 1, 2, 3, turn it over, and this is what they will have. You guys recognize that guy? I recognize that guy, and they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna be like, Mr. Bishop! It's so much fun. And so they get to give Mr. Bishop crazy, wacky, colorful, moving hair. And that is their project for this month. And they're going to love it. They're going to have fun with it. And they can get it as creative and vibrant as they want. They can keep it simple, or there are going to be some samples where they can get really detailed. It's all based on the kids' capability and what it is they do and do not want to do. But it's all about having fun, creating movement, all purely by using lines. And that's it. If you have any comments, questions, or if you need any help, by all means, drop me an email or pick up the phone. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the hallways.